Sapience, A Brief History of Humankind by Y. N. Harari. Part 1, The Cognitive Revolution. Chapter 1, An Animal of No Significance. About 13.5 billion years ago, matter, energy, time and space came into being in what is known as the Big Bang. The story of these fundamental features of our universe is called physics. About 3 lakhs years after their appearance, matter and energy started to coalesce into complex structure called atoms, which then combined into molecules. The story of atoms, molecules, and their interaction is called chemistry. About 3.8 billion years ago, on a planet called Earth, certain molecules combine to form particularly large and intricate structure called organism. The story of organism is called biology. About 17,000 years ago, organism belonging to the species Homo sapiens started to form even more elaborate structure called cultures. The subsequent development of this human culture is called history. Three important revolutions shaped the course of history. The cognitive revolution kick-started history about 17,000 years ago. The agricultural revolution sped it up about 12,000 years ago. The scientific revolution, which got underway only 500 years ago, may well end history and started something completely different. This book tells the story of how these three revolutions have affected humans and their fellow organisms. There were humans long before there was history. Animals, much like modern human, first appeared 2.5 million years ago. But for countless generations, they did not started out from the myriads other organisms with which they shared their habitats. On a hike in East Africa 2 million years ago, you might well have encountered a familiar cast of human characters. Anxious mother cuddling their babies and clutches of carefree children playing in the mud. Temperamental youth chafing against the dictates of society, and weary elders who have just wanted to be left in peace, chest-thumping machos trying to impress the local beauty, and wise old matriarchs who had already seen it all. These archaic humans loved, played, formed close friendship, and competed for status and power. But so did chimpanzees, baboons, and elephants. There was nothing special about humans. Nobody, least of all humans themselves, had any linking that their descendants would one day walk on the moon, split the atoms, fathom the genetic code, and write history books. The most important things to know about prehistoric humans is that they were insignificant animals with no more impact on their environment than gorillas, fireflies, or jellyfish. Biologists classify organisms into species. Animals are said to belong to the same species if they tend to mate with each other, giving birth to fertile offspring. Horses and donkeys have a recent common ancestors and share many physical traits, but they show little sexual interest in one another. They will meet if induced to do so, but their offspring called mules are sterile. Mutations in donkey DNA can therefore never cross over to horses, or vice versa. The two types of animals are consequently considered two distinct species, moving along separate evolution paths. By contrast, a bulldog and a spaniel may look very different, but they are members of the same species, sharing the same DNA pool. They will happily mate and their puppies will grow up to pair off with other dogs and produce more puppies. Species that evolved from common ancestors are bunched together under the heading genus. Lions, tigers, leopards, and jaguars are different species within the genus Panthera. biologist level organism with a two-part Latin name genus followed by species. Lions, for example, are called Panthera leo. The species leo of genus Panthera. Presumably, everyone reading this book is a Homo sapiens. The species Sapiens of the genus Homo. Genera in their turn are grouped into families such as the cats, the dogs, and the elephants. All members of a family trace their lineage back to a founding matriarch or patriarch. All cats are example from the smallest house kitten to the most ferocious lion share a common feline ancestors who lived about 25 million years ago. Homo sapiens too belong to a family. This banal fact used to be one of history's most closely guarded secrets. Homo sapiens long preferred to view itself as set apart from animals, an orphan bereft of family, lacking siblings or cousins, and most importantly, without parents. But that's just not the case. Like it or not, we are members of a large and particularly noisy family called the Great Apes. Our closest living relatives include chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans. The chimpanzees are the closest. Just 6 million years ago, a single female ape had two daughters. One became the ancestor of all chimpanzees, the other is our own grandmother.